as we see another one come off the board. Samuel Mpemba, transferring from Georgia to Texas A&M. This guy was a top 50 recruit in the 2022 class out of IMG Academy, and a guy who doesn't have a lot of production in his career, like we've seen with some of these edge rushers that have transferred early in this transfer portal cycle, but has the traits, has the length, 6'3", 250, twitchy, explosive. And if he can put it all together, of course, Mike Elko, background as one of the best defensive coaches in the country. Early returns have been really solid at Texas A&M, and we've seen them take chances on these high upside, really talented guys who just maybe haven't put it all together yet. I think Mpemba falls in that bucket.
Yeah, someone that we've known about for a while down here in Florida. He's originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but kind of burst on the scene at IMG, was a tight end and a defensive end. It's hard to ignore the body type. I mean, this guy looks exactly like you draw him up at the defensive end, edge rusher position. Very, very athletic, very quick, grew up playing soccer. The production at IMG was good. It was not dominant, which is not unusual. You know, IMG has a lot of good players, but you could see the burst and physicality. He wanted to play hard, and there's a reason why he was a top 50 recruit with everybody in the country after him. I think when you look at Texas A&M, you say, okay, you had that era where you're just stockpiling 5-star players out of high school, spending a lot of money on these players, and then they go away. To me, I see a change where the way they evaluate is different. In some ways, just studying their high school class, I like how they're evaluating guys. They're getting really, really good football players that are still highly rated, but maybe aren't just the top of the ticket items. But then they're getting these elite body types from the portal, and these 5-star type players from the portal. When they've had a little dirt on them, they're going to come cheaper, I'm assuming, than they were out of high school, and Jimbo Fisher was paying top dollar. But you can develop them with Mike Elko. So, okay, we talk about Mpemba. Micah Hudson, the 5-star from Texas Tech. He's another one where he really didn't produce at Texas Tech as a freshman, but you're betting on his explosive traits to really elevate you. Julian Humphrey, he did play for Georgia. He started, but was benched, trending downwards in his career. But his size, his elite speed, you're talking about perfect NFL corner traits. Bring him in and rehabilitate him here. TJ Searcy, a solid player on the edge for University of Florida, but not a dominant player necessarily. He was a big recruit, top 100 recruit. Bring him in and see he can develop. So you're seeing the same kind of body types and athleticism that you had when you were signing 5-stars out of high school. Now you're just getting them a year removed or 2 years removed from when they signed with other teams. Again, you see Mpemba at tight end there earlier in his IMG career. He's an athlete, raw. They knew he was raw. Georgia has so many players at that position. I mean, you think about the guys that are rushing the passer for Georgia. These are first-round players pretty much across the board. So it's hard to see him developing and getting the reps he needs in that situation. Texas A&M's got good rushers too. You're losing a few to the NFL, foremost among them, Shamar Stewart, another guy that we watch for many, many years down here in Miami, who is probably going to go to the first round. And Mpemba adds to a stockpile of pass rushers with ability, and I think it's a better fit for him. Another thing about Georgia is, Georgia doesn't just let these guys rip as far as the pass rushers. A lot of times they're going head up on tackles. They're playing more of a role. Look at Trayvon Walker, who's become more of a pass rusher in the NFL than he was in college. The role is different in Georgia. Obviously, it works for them. They're the best defense in the country over the past 5 years. But guys like Mpemba, who are raw athletes and want to just get after it, I think he's going to get at least a little bit more in what Mike Elko does than what Kirby Smart did at Georgia.